Hello everybody, I hope today finds you well. Today we are going to continue on with the Edna Mae Burdam's preparatory book, A Dozen a Day. I would highly suggest getting these books. I don't recommend them all the time. I guess it kind of depends on what your budget is, but they're pretty affordable. They're only like $6 or something like that. And these little exercises, at first they don't seem that they're really helping that much, but they really do in the long run. So I highly suggest getting these. So today we're going to start with group 2. And this is a good way to warm up, and I'm just kind of warming up myself today. So we'll be warming up together on this. So group 2, we're just starting here on the middle C. Okay, and then notice that these exercises, they have the repeat, so I'm just going to go through them once, unless I end up messing up or something, but just for the sake of keeping the video short. But that's first one's a good exercise because it helps you fill these octaves. Okay, and I think that's what a lot of these exercises, the benefit of them is it really helps you feel the way around the piano and get used to some of these intervals and whatnot. Okay, exercise 2, tiptoe running. We have the little dots which are for the staccato. Okay, then let's go. Then they're playing both hands together. Okay, and then exercise 3, jumping off the front porch steps. Climbing up the ladder. This is a good exercise. You have to kind of get used to this little pattern. So this one you'll definitely have to practice. But again, this is a good little a cool little sounding run. Again, as you get used to improvising. That's kind of a fun thing to do. You could work that in. Then going down, okay, that's kind of a good one to get your fingers warmed up. My fingers are kind of cold today. I've been working outside a little bit. Okay, so now jumping like a frog. These are the grace notes. Okay, so you're starting here. Again, this one you have to practice a little bit at first to get used to what's going on here, but this is a grace note. You can see they've got this little bitty, I don't know if I can zoom in on this. You've got the little bitty miniature note with the little slash going through it. Okay, so you're just going to play that at the very beginning. Okay, so that would be a grace note. So a different way of doing it is by playing them both together and just releasing the first note. See that? As opposed to this. Okay, so I think that would be a crunch note. That's in one of the other, in the Shams piano book, but for the life of me, I've not been able to find that. But not to lose any sleep over, a couple different ways you could play those. And let's go into exercise 7, hanging from bar by right hand. Okay, so. Okay, and you'll notice this particular exercise, it's kind of interesting how it's notated, because you've got that G that you're holding that out for the whole measure, and you've got the rest on this C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You'll see things like this as you get into more complex music, to where you're, they're kind of breaking down the measures just with one hand. I know it doesn't make much sense the way I'm explaining it, but you'll see as you get farther along how that will pop up. Okay, so now it looks like they're doing both hands. Okay, and then yo-yo. Okay, and then again, these are all pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to spend much time on these. You could play around with this too. This could be a fun one to do. You could play around doing different things with your right hand if you like. Again, this is all about just kind of warming up for the day. Okay, this one here is kind of a fun one. You'll see you're starting with your fifth finger on the G note of your left hand. And it's going to go over. Okay, now they're going to go to a G. Then back to the C. What are they doing here? Okay, so let me do that for you. This is kind of tricky. Let me back up for just a second. When they get to this G, okay, this is actually makes a G7th. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see how that's a G7th. Okay, so they're basically going from C to a G7th. Okay, so but on this G7th. You want to use this fingering, and for me, when you go over, it's like it almost would be easier to do it with your pinky, but okay, so let's go through and do this. Okay, kind of a fun exercise. And then exercise 12, fit is a fiddle. Let's see here. Okay, I'm just going to go again. Oops. Okay. Okay, so that's, I think I'm going to go on and do group 3 today. See what's going on with this right here. Okay, so group 3 is deep breathing. And the thing to note about this particular exercise is that you're playing a C chord here, and now what's this second chord you're playing? Okay, what is that second chord? That's a G7th. Okay, we kind of talked about that earlier. If you play a G, let's go to your G major scale. Here's your G chord. So a 7th is always considered to be the flatted 7th. If we take that G, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you flat that, that's your dominant 7th. Okay, so what they've done here, and you're going to see this a lot, that if you take the G, put it up here, you end up with that kind of thing. And it does sound kind of discordant, but you're going to see that a lot. So that's, you want to start recognizing that if you can. That you're going from C to a G7th. It's nice to know what chords you're playing. So let me do that exercise one more time. So you got C, G7th, then C, G7th, and all together. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. Then exercise 2 on group 3 is you're in 3/4, so you always want to get the hang of that. Get yourself in sync with that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it'll be. Okay, so that's a good exercise for because eventually you want to be able to get this thumb under when you do the major scale. Even though I'm not doing a very good job on it today. So that's a good exercise, this little thing here. And then go on down. See that? Okay, so that definitely will pay off in the long run. Cartwheels, these are just little arpeggios. Okay, fun one to do. And then skipping. The staccato marking on there. So let me try playing that a little bit more correctly. So it would be like okay, and then exercise 5 is jumping rope. So notice basically you're still playing a C chord here. Now they've just kind of split it up between both hands. And again, you've got the staccato markings on there. And again, here's this. What is that chord? That's the G7. Let me show you something else. Another way of looking at this. If you play your G chord, there's your 7th right there. Okay? Okay, so there's your G7th chord. Okay, so again, dominant 7th. This would be your major 7th up here. But here's the flatted 7th. Okay, so if you look at it this way, take this 7th, the F note, and put it down here. So again, that's all they're doing there. Okay, so. Go a little bit slower on that. There's your G7th. So then we go to eighth notes. Let me start over. Let me do that for you one more time. Okay, so you got to make sure, you have to make sure that you don't start too fast on that, because you'll never be able to fit those eighth notes in there if you start too fast like I just did. Okay, so now rocking chair. Okay, and they have a repeat, so you go twice on that. Okay, let's go on to number 7, round and round in a swing. So they're doing triplets here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. The way when you see this little 3 here, these are triplets. You can count them. Is 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay, and then going down, it's just backwards. 2, 3, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And you'll notice we have this little thing, looks like a frog's eyeball poking above the water or something. That's a fermata, or a hold symbol, which means you can hold it as long as you would like. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And you hold that as long as you want to, then going backwards, unwinding. Okay, and then exercise 8, we've got okay, let me do that for you again. So 1, so you're in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And also notice they got the little staccato markings on there. Normally, like when you have like those markings, just go through and just kind of get it down first before you try throwing the emphasis on it, or throwing your markings in. So let me do it. Let me try doing it with the staccato. Let's see if I can do that a little bit better. Okay, and then climbing. See, this is kind of doing that scale where we do the C major scale. Your third finger's going to go over. The kind of, remember when we were doing that exercise a few minutes ago? Okay, 1, 2. Okay, and then with your right hand, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So that's a very good exercise. Okay, and of course I played it just completely straight through. Let's do it with the half note at the beginning. Okay, then you notice you have the little 3 there, so those are triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. So that's a fun one to do. Okay, that's ping pong. So exercise 11, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, and then we're down to the last one, fit as a fiddle. The thing to note on this one here, remember you're in the key of C since you don't have any sharps or flats, so you want to recognize this as a C chord. You know, we're just not using the third, okay? And again, so this is where those little chord shapes, that knowing this, your chord shapes really comes in handy. So if we look at just the left hand, you're playing a C, it's just a root. When we do this on guitar, it's known as a power chord. You're just playing root and fifth, okay? But you want to recognize that as a C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, now, what chord is this? See, here's your G. That's the flatted seventh right there, so it's the G7. And then again, on the third measure, you'll see that they're playing a C, but this time they put the third back into the chord. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your G7th. Here's your C. C just with the fifth, then G7th, then to the C with the third. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to have group 4 coming up. Let's see here where we're at time-wise on this video. Okay, yeah, so we've already gone over time-wise. Okay, so practice those. Try to practice them every day, and that will definitely help you. And we will see you on the next video. Thank you for dropping by, and please subscribe to my channel. Send some likes if you like this video, and drop by and visit my website as well. So anyways, have a great day, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.